Hello, my Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT, Certified Zentangle Teacher, and welcome to another session of Not Perfect Zen. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm doing great. Happy to say that. And I just want to share a new pattern that I found on the Tangle Patterns website. One of my favorite things to do is to, oops, sorry, I shook my camera, is to go to the Tangle Patterns website or the Musterkel website, and those links are down in the description below this video, and see what the newest patterns are that they've put out. And one that just recently came out is called, let's see if you can see this, Heart Window. Let me try to zoom in without being too shaky. So I thought this was really pretty. And with Valentine's Day coming up and a little heart, I thought that would be fun. And this is by Barbara Duel Johnson, and she is a CZT. And it just starts with a square, some hearts, more hearts, and then a few embellishments. So it's an easy pattern. I'm going to add a little bit to it, and I think you'll have fun with it. Okay, let me turn the sound off on my phone. So here is from my sketchbook, my practice. I'm sorry, this is not moving in well. So this is basically how it should look when you've finished following those steps. And then I embellished it a little bit. So you can do whatever you want on yours. This one was my very first try, and I made the hearts a little bit small. So after that, I started putting some little guidelines in that helped me. So here's one that I did that I went kind of crazy with. This was tile that already had some watercolor on it, and then I made it kind of big in the center, and then I put Muka all around it. This one is actually called Elegan, E-L-E-G-A-N, by Tangle Dream, and it's basically 3 Muka in a row. But anyway, there's something for your inspiration if you want to try that. But we're going to do this one, and I'm going to make it big because I just like how it looks. And I'm going to be using Zentangle 3.5-inch tile, my Micron 01, my Zentangle pencil. This is a blending stump or tortillon, and I keep a little clip in there because I'm always mashing down on that tip, and that helps me to keep it a little bit sharp. Last time I pushed it too much. And I may use a Micron PN also. PN means plastic nib, so the tip is a little bit different from the 01, if you can see that. And this one is stronger. Not if you're heavy-handed, it stays good a little bit longer than these little tiny nibs, but the tiny ones are good for details, and these are good anytime, actually. All right, I am thankful for Zentangle. I'm grateful for the Tangle Patterns website, and I'm grateful that you are watching this video. Thank you very much. We are going to start with our 4 corner dots, and I'm going to make these a nice straight border in pencil. Okay. I like to turn my tile. Just helps me to use this part of the tile as a guide. All right, so next thing we're going to do is divide this in half this way. And it's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. And then same thing, turn it and divide it in half this way also. Okay, so on this one, I found that to get this to look closer to what she had actually done, that I should have made my hearts come about halfway up. Okay, more like what you see in this one. So what I ended up doing was adding another guideline across here. And this is the perfectionist coming out in me, but I think it helped it to look more even. Whoops. Okay. And if you want, you can put a guideline down this way too. This is not in the steps. And I do have a kneaded eraser, and I will probably come back later and erase those. But if it helps you, like it does me, to put these guidelines, then go ahead. And you'll see in a minute how this helps. Okay, so I'm going to use my Micron 01, and we're going to begin to draw these hearts, okay, like this. So starting in the center, and this will be the center of my heart, and that's why I have those lines there. So come down, there's your center, and then come back down to there. All right, I'm going to turn and do this on all four sides. And my hearts are not going to be exactly the same. That's okay. But at least they'll all be about the right height, which is about halfway. Turn and do your next one. Okay. So that's our first step. The next thing that she does is she puts a little heart up here in the corner. And again, that little line helps me to line it up. And then she does a line down to the center. And then we're going to put a couple of cute little leaves on there. Okay, we're going to turn and put another heart. On Tangle Patterns, you may have noticed that she colored these little hearts red. So adding a pop of color on here would be nice. But for my videos, I keep them in black and white because I just prefer it that way. Okay, let's do the last one. And this may not be the exact order of her steps, but we're getting it the way we want it. Okay, so the next thing is, if you can see on here, we connect the tops of these hearts with this point. And I'm going to come kind of take off from the top of that and make a little curve down. and then come up. Okay, same thing here. I'm going to come off the top, little curve, and come up to that point. So let's do that on all 4 sides. And again, this is going to be a little bit of a variation of her step out. Sorry. Come off the top, come up here, little curve down, and then one more. All right. The next thing that I did, okay, I am going to go ahead and erase these lines because I don't need them now. Okay, so I was erasing these. And that's just what I like to do when I'm finished with these guidelines. I like to remove them. Okay, so the next thing I did on this variation was add an aura along the outside. Just come down. Oop, almost touched that line, that's okay. Down. And again, this is not in the step out, but I like how it looked on mine. Okay, and as you can see, I don't make perfect lines, and that's okay. All right, so the next thing I did here was where these lines come down, and we go ahead and make that center line. I added 2 more lines inside. Kind of follow that curve of this heart. Okay, and then I like to just round these. So just at the top of each of these lines, add kind of a rounded top. Okay, and then we fill this in. This is something I do pretty often as far as adding these lines and rounding them. I just like how it looks. Okay, so we're going to do that on all 4 sides. So we're going to put our line down the center, and then 2 more that are kind of curved. And just take your time. And then I'm going to turn it and add our little rounded corners. Almost makes it look like petals in the center. So I'll be looking for possibly some new Valentine themed patterns to show you. There's usually some challenges that come out on Facebook that they give different patterns for you to try during the month of February. And maybe I'll find some fun patterns that you like. Okay, we're going to do the same thing here. Line down to the center. Hold your tile in whatever way makes it most comfortable for you. We're going to add 2 lines. I know this is repetitive, and that's the kind of patterns I like because they're easy to repeat. But you're welcome to increase the speed on this if I'm going too slow, or you can slow it down if I'm going too fast. The YouTube controls allow you to do that. And I also don't add music. I find it to be very distracting unless I have my own music in the background. Okay, so you can see that one of these is skinny and one of these is fat. That's okay. This is not perfect art. It's not meant to be perfect, it's just meant to be enjoyed. This is the 20th anniversary this year of when Zentangle started teaching classes. That's pretty cool. All right, so let's do one more. Our line down the center. Now in the step outs, these lines were all inked in, the center lines, but I didn't do that. Okay, add our 2 lines. If I take my time, I get them separated a little bit better. Okay. Now we're going to round these off. You know, another thing you can do is make these hearts a little bit bigger. And if you go to tanglepatterns.com and look at Barbara's examples from her step outs, really pretty. Okay, so that didn't look very good. It's okay. And what I can do is kind of round that off a little bit better here. And then maybe bring this one down a little to match it. Fill these in. Okay. All right. With my Micron PN, because it's a little bit thicker on the end, I am going to just go over the heart lines, make them a little bit stronger so we don't lose our heart. And I did that on this one. I made them pretty thick. Just having fun. I've talked in the past about just saying, what if? And that's what happened on this one. I thought, well, what if I go ahead and add these lines and round them off, and it just kept going from there. So I like it. Hope you like it. And you can do these in a smaller grid. And like I did on here, you can put 4 on a tile. What I do in my sketchbook is I take a Zentangle tile and outline it so that when I'm practicing on a 3.5 inch square. All right, so there we have it. Let's add some shading. I tell you one thing I'm going to do though. I'm going to just use my pen down here in the middle. See where some of this is open, just to make it look more consistent. Makes it match these other sides. Okay, looking at some of these, I'm going to round this a little bit better. Maybe make that one match. Okay, make any adjustments that you might want to make. If you watch Maria, she's always going in and adding little touches. I think at the bottom of these hearts, I'm going to go back to my 01. Okay, I'm just going to, kind of like we did here, but at the bottom of these hearts, I'm just going to add a little bit of hatching. And if you did a bigger heart, you could even put a pattern inside of it. Okay. You could fill these in dark, like what I did here, but after I did that, I decided I didn't want it like that. For the video, anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of graphite along the bottom here of each of these. And then with my tortillon blending stump, I'm just going to soften that up a little bit. So you still see the lines that I put in there, but this just kind of softens it, makes it blend in to the rest of this. Okay. Oh, this is the one. Okay, so just very softly pulling that up. And then what I did on these was just add a little bit of shading along the outside of the heart. So with the side of my graphite pencil, I'm just going to softly add some graphite. By doing it this way, we're not adding any harsh lines. Let me show you. If I were to put my pencil down like that and then try to shade that, you're still going to see that harsh line. By doing this on the side of my pencil, which is one of the reasons it's a short pencil, you can hold it almost flat. Then look at that. See the difference? We don't want to see that harsh line. We just want to add a shadow. Okay? So now when I go back on this one and just very softly push it into the paper, and I'm making kind of little circles. And I want the graphite to go to the edge of the heart, but not into this other part. Then we see another little heart kind of in the middle, okay, in the highlight. So we're just going to do that on each heart. And again, I'm just very softly putting this pencil down. And then I'm going to blend it. Okay, do that on each one. Blend it. If you're doing this on a colored tile, like what I did here, I actually came in with my white charcoal pencil and added a little bit of highlight that way. All right, last one. Oh, excuse my dog. Okay, soften it. When I have to walk away from my video or something, like with my dog, earlier my sister called out to me. I don't want to stop the video, but when I come back to edit, I need to sometimes cut things out. So you may have noticed in my last video that this suddenly appeared, and it's a piece of, well, a roll of tape. Okay, the painter's tape. When I see that show up in my video, I know I need to cut that part out. Well, I missed that last time. And so if you see that in the video, I happened to notice it much later. It was too late. You can't just edit a video and replace it in YouTube. So I just left it and decided to just explain to you why it's there. Okay, so I put a little bit of graphite in the bottom of each of these little hearts, and then I'm just gonna lightly pull it up. Okay, and it's still kind of highlighted in the center. And I may have enough graphite on my blending stump that I don't have to add to it. Okay, so there we go. You can just kind of come down here if you need to and soften these. In the beginning of Zentangle, Maria used her finger. She didn't have the blending stumps. All right, let's add our chop. I'm just going to put mine right here. So sign the back of your tile. Add the name of the pattern so you know what it is if you want to come back and do it again. And just appreciate your tile again. You know, I really love how these turn out, and look forward to trying this one again. All right, thanks again for joining me. Let me back out on this. I tell you, these cameras are a pain sometimes to get things just right. All right, so there's that one. There's that one. And then these were my practice. All right, thank you again for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the like button, share, and come back again. Have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.